Hey everybody, we are in day 25 of quarantine. It's 5 o'clock, so here we are for another happy hour cocktail. Today's cocktail is going to be a new one for me. It's one I've never made before, and it was inspired by a conversation we were having last night on a Zoom call. Helen and I just finished a puzzle, like many people across the country, and this puzzle was one that I got for Christmas, Cocktails Across America. And so every state has its own cocktail. A lot of them are dumb. Washington is the apple shot. What is that? It's gross. Weird drinks that you've never heard of. Some of them are good. So like Louisiana, the Sazerac, as it should be. California's got the Mai Tai. Love that. Manhattan for New York. Classic. But so anyway, we were Zooming last night with some friends, and we were telling them about this puzzle, and they live in New Hampshire. And so they asked the logical question, which is, oh, what is New Hampshire's drink? And so I'm like, I don't remember. So we went over and pulled it up, and it turns out it's a drink called the gin Esaiquoi. Like je ne sais quoi, only with gin. Gin Esaiquoi. So we're like, haven't heard of that before. So I looked it up, and despite it requiring somewhat obscure ingredients, it turned out that I had all of them. And so we're going to give it a try tonight. This is a drink that was invented in New Hampshire. I have since learned that it was invented in the White Mountain Cider Company by a bartender there. I looked on a map where this cider company is. It's way the hell up there, up by Mount Washington, up in New Hampshire. And so let's go through the ingredients that we have for this. So one of the main ingredients is, you'll see a French theme through a lot of this, is Lillet Blanc. This is a French aperitif. It is a fortified wine. It's somewhat like vermouth adjacent. And is quite nice just over some ice, chilled. I think one of the predominant flavors that it has is quinine, which gives it a nice little flavor there. So it's going to feature the Lillet Blanc, and then it's another gin drink. So we have the gin, and I'm once again going with the Citadel gin, partly because it's Helen's favorite, and so we always have it, and partly to stick with the French theme. This is a nice French gin, a little floral, but it's good. It's pretty cheap, good gin. And then we've also got the Velvet Falernum, which is a liqueur that's made in Barbados. They've been making it since the early 1800s. Has flavors of lime, ginger, almonds, and cloves. This is common in a lot of tiki drinks, which is the reason that I have it. It's really good. And then we are also going to incorporate some orange bitters, and this is an egg white drink, so it's going to be nice and foamy and fluffy. Really looking forward to that mouthfeel aspect of it. So let's dig in. I'm going to grab my glass here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble the ingredients in the glass. So we've got 2 dashes of Regan's Orange Bitters No. 6. It's probably, I would say, the third most famous bitters out there on the market after Angostura and Peychaud's. Regan's has been doing it forever, and I'd say most people that have 3 bottles of bitters have this one. So I'm just going to do 3 dashes right there. Now I'm going to go to my Lillet Blanc, and I'm going to take 1.5 ounces of this. This will be interesting. This should be nice, and if this is close to a vermouth and then we have the gin, we're not too far from sort of a base of a martini, right? Gin and dry vermouth. This definitely is going to be a little bit more flavorful than your average vermouth, but piqued my interest as a place to start. I'm going to take the same amount of gin. So we had 1.5 ounces of the Lillet Blanc, and we're going to take 1.5 ounces of the gin. And then half as much of the velvet falernum. So 3/4 of an ounce of this. I love this stuff. This is going to give some good sweetness to it. Also some, like I said, that clove flavor. Should be nice and earthy, but also bright. Wonderful. All right, so now we're going to extract an egg white from this egg. Just separate it here. Side. And we're going to add the egg white. Bloop. Beautiful. And so we're going to use a technique called a dry shake before we add the ice. So dry shaking is often used when you have some egg white and you want to really whip it up, froth it up good. You do basically an extended shake, but you don't want to over dilute by adding the ice right away. So we're going to start shaking without ice, shake for a while, then we'll add ice, get it nice and cold, finish it off, and then strain it into a coupe glass. Yesterday I said always shake for longer than you think you need to. Say when egg white is involved, even longer than that. Just going to get nice and fluffier and fluffier. All right. Oh boy. Well, already nice and frothy. Now I'm going to take some ice and add that and get it nice and cold. The ice will also add an important ingredient, which is water, in order to get a little bit of dilution in my ingredients. Look at that. Do you see that? Already nice and frothy. Oh man, this is going to be great. Now, I'm going to use a towel here because the inside of the tin is already a little wet from the first round. So this will keep me from getting too messy. All right, and the agitation from the ice cube should help that froth even more. Let's pop it open. Take my Hawthorne strainer, this nice coupe glass right here, and let's see what we've got. Oh, that's nice. Now the garnish, I found this recipe in Food and Wine. They give a little history too. And the garnish they called for is ground cardamom. And to make this a little more interesting, and because I didn't have any freshly ground cardamom already, I'm just going to take a green cardamom pod. Take 2 of them. And I'm going to take this toothpick and I'm just going to give it a little press just to barely crack each of the pods, just to get a little of that aroma. Now I'm going to take my pick and I'm going to drive it right through. Might crack it open a little bit. Right through. Oh, I can smell it. Try not to stab my hand in the process. All right. And I'm just going to lay that right over top. Yeah. Voila, here we have the gin Esaiquoi. Alright, so excited to give this a shot. See how it tastes. So bringing it up, you can see immediately we have that really nice froth at the top. We've got the nice cardamom there. Oh, I'm getting the clove from the velvet falernum, and I'm also getting the cardamom spices. Really nice. Oh wow, that is very complex. There's just so many different flavors coming through. Definitely, again, getting excuse me, getting that clove from the velvet falernum. The floralness from the gin is, I think, making it really complex, and then also that quinine flavor from the Lillet Blanc. Huh. It's nice and smooth, so the egg white gives a really nice mouthfeel, really smooth on my tongue. Right, so I would say my overall rating of this drink or my review, I'm glad I made it, not disappointed, really interesting. Probably not my favorite flavor profile that I would go for. I tend to like drinks either boozy or with some like really fun citrusy, and this is kind of neither. It's really like an earthy cocktail. Yeah, I'm excited to just sit with this for a little bit. So do you see the, look at the lacing on the glass there, how nice and frothy that is. All along there. Oh man. If you're not using eggs in your cocktails, you're doing it wrong. Ooh. All right. Well, hope you've all had another good day of quarantine, and that you're celebrating the passing of another day with a delicious cocktail of your own. Join me at 5 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock UTC tomorrow evening. Excited for tomorrow. It'll be Tiki Tuesday, bringing you a tiki drink right here, same time, same place. Cheers.